Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com's Daily Brief Recap. I thought it was funny. Somebody recently is making fun of me trying to get myself to do 5-10 minute videos. Good luck, Brian. Anyway, don't really want to make these free videos too exhaustive. I just keep, I just start talking and I can't stop. Can't stop the talking. Anyway, today is, where are we here? It's Thursday, July 9th, coming into sort of the tail end of the first 2 weeks of the quarter. So it'll be really interesting to see where money's flowing. Clearly, I see money continuing to pour into technology. So that also should be an interesting tell of where sort of the higher ups think we are in the economic cycle. But we can't really put the cart before the horse. We have to wait for that. My hunch is probably best to wait till that options expire on the 17th to really see what they've done with their money. But we'll keep an eye on that. As you can see, our breadth indicator did turn up there, I guess about a week or so ago. We had a little bit of a counter trend rally. Market seemed to have got some inertia. We saw lots of markets pop up. Like I said, NASDAQ, very, very strong, moving to new highs. Interesting when we look at our breadth data, though, you can really see, man, the whole market just rolled over here big time again. We might get into a situation where they just throw the baby out with the bathwater. If everything is down deeply, then we might get another one of these pivot lows. We'll keep our eyes peeled. We're not really overbought, so I don't know whether I really like the idea of, like sharpshooting shorts here. I don't think there's easy money to be made. I think this is more of this violently flat market state. So, with that violently flat kind of thinking, we were bumping up against top end ranges. Things were looking very uppy. And then all of a sudden, somebody came out and sneezed, and all hell broke loose. Stocks broke lower, and actually look like they've confirmed a double top now. Oil, like I said, this is going to be a fascinating exercise for us to walk through. How many short attempts does it take to actually hit this 50% level? Looks like that oil trade's working now again. So bonds just taking off here. Huge risk off proxy jumping. And then there's the gold sort of caught between a rock and a hard place. In that, if the stock market is booming higher and equity prices are okay to be that's inflationary. So that should help the gold. And I think gold was catching a bid in that environment. But interestingly enough, if everything starts melting off here, does gold actually have to start coming back down and filling in gaps and cleaning itself up here a bit? Totally possible. We've come an awful long way. So don't be shocked if we have, a good $50 pullback here. Wouldn't be surprising. Probably, our leader out of all of this is good old US dollar index, and kind of talking with site people today about things like day trading plans. Don't think it's a really good idea to use the US dollar index to trade. But what you want to do is you want to look at this index and say, well, we seem to be coming into some key lows. And I suppose if we flip this around, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's go there to there. And there to there. Gee whiz, that's right into reload zones. What was really interesting about this, I find, is I believe that this whole market was set up there. And they sprung this trap back, this was early June. I guess it was latter part of, early June. Took the US dollar down against the lows, set the trap, jumped the price back up, sprung the trap, and then, of course, all these late shorters. This was a divergence. Things like the euro and stuff, they went to new highs, but it was total bullshit. And now all these late shorters and late buyers of the euro, they're trapped in these trades. And the market comes back down into that level, and some of those trapped bears, they're get me the hell out of there, right? And then it did it again. right against these lows. You can't see it here, but I just had it on there into reload zones. There's that trap level, and they did it again. This is actually a really great application of the concept of high to low trend lines. So I don't really see too many people in the public teach this kind of stuff, but I'll tell you, it's super, super powerful. It is one of the concepts in our level 2 program, our intermediate program, where you're going to take sort of the swing high and then the swing low, and in this case you can see down, up, and then break. So that's the swing low. You draw your trend line off of those 2 points, and you can see how the market completely respected that this morning. So as we were dumping into these levels, taking out these previous lows, interestingly enough, the traders on the site who trade currencies, we were watching things like Australian dollar. And I got to tell you, man, beautiful setup here this morning. And interesting enough, right through the London kill zone. Basically, absolutely textbook. And interesting to see the traders trade. They've sold one at, our little blurb here. This is what we put on all of these trades. At this point here, I don't really need an arrow. At this point right here, right, you hit that old high. At this point right here, take partial profits. If you can manage multiple contracts, really you want to take like 50% profit there. Move your stop to scratch, which is way up here now. And every once in a while in futures land, right, especially if you have that US dollar pivot level I talked about, you get these coast-to-coast trades, which is like the ultimate kick-ass traders trade. We had one here a week or two ago, and I published it out, where literally you're coming in and you're buying the very bottom end of the range and then into the retail close, because remember, futures positions have to be closed into the retail close there. Right into the retail close, you're literally covering and taking profits right at the high of the day. This is like a futures trader's dream, right? This trade right here. And interestingly enough, I think they just did this exact trade in opposite here. And again, think violently flat, that US dollar fractal. This is going to be a wide trading range. And I do believe that they set up a really nice trade there for the Forex traders here overnight. According to our little fractal market symmetry study that we did, and actually I shortened these to 14 days because that was the rally peak and that was the low. So I just sort of said, okay, well, what does this look like if we just replicate it on the other side? And that's what that price chart looks like. So believe it or not, actually I was looking for a little bit more of a rally here. So this is actually a lot more muted than I expect, but I could see this could have a bit of legs. So we'll see whether we can get our butt back up into reload zones, underside kiss of this trend line again kind of idea, which would be sort of that market symmetry kind of thinking. Looking for our final dump. And like I said, I think this is all around this U.S. Political event. The big vote in the U.S. Congress as to whether they're going to spend more money. So probably that's what's got the market's attention right now. And it's, that's a risk off kind of bar, right? Big up move there on the U.S. dollar index. So when we look at the rest of the market, it should make sense. Stocks, a little bit heavy. And actually the interesting thing now, like I show people the risk on, risk off matrix, and we actually have a really tight little M top that's trying to form up here. Now look at that, right in that reload zone. And I think I had said that there's a bunch of TRIers that had a whole bunch of harmonic levels on things like the NASDAQ all firing here. So this is going to be really interesting to see whether this thing does top out and melt down here. And you can see earlier this morning we were right on our knees. And it was actually interesting just asking people through the daily brief, what did somebody say something Did some data come out or something? Because clearly something shifted here this morning. And as I showed you on that Australian dollar, I mean, man, you can really see it in the volume. When this Australian dollar broke, holy shit, the floodgates just opened up with selling. So, as I said, in Daily Brief today, we said, volumes speak volumes. So clearly something big just happened here in currency land. Anyway. So stock's looking a little toppy. Haven't officially broken here, but definitely in that sort of area where if it's going to break, that's where it's going to break. Interesting thing, NASDAQ just not quite ready to break down, but I think I had said this recently. If we're going to get a breakdown in the market, usually it comes from these guys. The energy market usually leads, and interesting how, our first double top stab short idea failed. Don't lose focus. Keep hunting, keep hunting. We have a reload zone, gap, candle body highs, maybe a head and shoulders top, and you can see this one's now actually getting some traction. Who knows what will happen? My ultimate objective, of course, is a 50% retracement. So I am still looking for crude to come down to 30, 31. Does this happen in one day? I doubt it. But gee whiz, look, there's gaps all the way down here at like $25. There's another gap here at 28. So I don't know when the hell this thing's going to break. But my hunch is this is probably going to lead the charge. And that top is starting to look a little bit firmer now. Obviously, if we go down here through 37, that'll be a big honkin' M. It will break trend lines, and that's probably when the trade really gets going. So, keep your eyes peeled there for sports fans. We're starting to see a little bit of signs of chinks in that risk-on armor. And then, of course, if energy is topping out here, bonds love that, right? Because energy is a huge cost of doing business. So if energy prices are falling, that should be deflationary. I still think sure looks to me like bonds want to work their way up into this ABCD objective. We're getting more ABCD-ishes. Interesting how the gold, though, is having a down day here. So a little bit of a disconnect between the two here today. Has gold maybe gone a little ahead of itself? I wonder. Our little Newmont trade gapping higher. So, could we spend a week or so and clean up those gaps? I think so. We'll see how it goes. Only time will tell. The trend is up in gold for now. And, bot levels, there's really nothing to do there. Just be long and stay long. More sort of talk about our risk on, risk off. Russell 2000 never really got any major traction. It never really did break out. That 5.6 was the high there. Got up to 5.6 again, and now we're melting back down. I think I've said before, if this thing like M's out here, then I think we're toast. You can see, though, it's M'd out a couple times here, and they go, nope, sorry. Nope, sorry. So we'll see how this goes. This is the kind of environment stocks. I'm seeing a lot of stocks are so close to my sell levels. In fact, there's even this stock here, ZVO. Typical capitalism. I won't go into the full story, but I told the whole site today about my wonderful brokerage house. Don't deal with Canadian bank brokers. What they do is what's called tide selling. I don't know if you've ever heard that term before. Oh, keep your registered accounts here. Keep all your brokerage accounts here and your credit cards and all that, and we'll give you better rates, right? And your preferred customer, blah, 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 nonsense. What they don't bother to tell you is actually they're running a very unprofessional platform here. You can see how high the market went to 380. I had my order to sell at 375, and they did not give me a fill. And now the issue here is, do I really want to spend a lot of time, go to regulators, really cause a stink over this? When I put like $500 in here at like $1.70, and yeah, I mean that's double my money. But I'm debating because the problem here in Canada, and it's terrible. I'm not making any excuses for it. It's just really bad. We live in a very much a big brother kind of society, so I could go and cause a stink and be like, you legally owe me a fill. Give me my extra, what would it be? It would be an extra $50 US on the difference between just hitting the bid here today and getting my level. Is it worth being like blackballed by all these bureaucrats and Big Brother, and maybe even on TikTok they'll send a message to the Chinese government to put an X by my name? It wouldn't surprise me in this crazy world. And for the record, we should understand that just because the Chinese are caught doing this with TikTok, that doesn't mean the CIA isn't doing the same thing. And frankly speaking, it wouldn't surprise me if CSIS, the Canadian secret police, are doing the same thing. So it's not just a China thing. I mean, all of these governments are horrible like this. But anyway, point of the matter here is my wonderful Canadian brokerage house actually fucked me here today. So actually, I think I'm gonna go have a cigarette right now. What else could you do? Fuckers. And if anything, all of you go, that's why we're getting the fuck out of this corrupt market and we're heading over to crypto. Keep in mind, crypto has all the same kind of issues. This is what they call systemic risk. It's more a function of your broker. And, in crypto, your broker is your exchange. So it's like a double whammy. And I suppose one day we'll go towards the DeFi thing and we'll completely leave this whole world. Which I'm sure everybody in crypto would absolutely love. Speaking of crypto in particular, again, think violently flat, especially with regard to big things like Bitcoin. The little ones, as you can see here, and Kevin, I heard that you said that you banged off a double here on this ARPA today. Is that correct? I don't know whether he's here or not. Sometimes he's here.
Yeah, sure did.
There he is.
At 232 sats.
Way to go, dude. So, I just, before we got the video going, people were like, oh, hello, banging out doubles. Look at me. I'm so slick. Which is awesome. I mean, I love success stories. I love seeing profits. Profits is profit. So congratulations. I think, again, this is very much like a very story-specific kind of market. And if you can find good fundamental drivers and charts that actually look half decent. And I mean, look at this. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to show you. I mean, look at this ARPA chart. I mean, you tell me. I mean, is that the kind of stuff that you would see TRIs talking about? We're going to come in and buy off the bottom end of the range and looking to sell halves on doubles to get free positions. That's everything that we do at TRI. So while I didn't do the trade myself, although I have to log into Binance, I might have done this. I can't remember. I got to get that assistant position filled ASAP. I think I bought some of this a long time ago. But anyway, that's here and there. Great to hear lots of TRIers. Just what we're doing? We're just eating our own cooking. It's all the shit that we teach. Ironically enough, if you were interested in this name and you didn't buy off of this level, I'd be like, what the fuck? Why are you even here? So congratulations, TRIers. Nicely done. Rinse and repeat. Now you got your free money back. You got your original capital back. You could either just continue riding these free coins, or you could throw in a bid to add a second car with that original capital on some sort of reload zone test. Or you could just take that original capital and go buy another position and bang out a double on that and just keep doing it over and 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 over until you had enough. You got all the free coins you could possibly want. Keep in mind, I did that. I took like $500 and ran it up into like hundreds of thousands of dollars. Even on the crash, quote unquote, the account value only came down to about like 250,000. I've got maybe about 50,000-60,000 and like about 200 different cryptocurrencies that were all just bought with this same principle with that original $500. No reason why you can't do that too. So, point here, of course, can't buy that today. Just put on your Spidey glasses, get really slick at hunting reload zones and W's. And my hunch is if Kevin bought this, probably pretty damn good odds there was some sort of bullish divergence here in momentum. And, you just put your money to work and let it work. And then, of course, when the market affords you the opportunity, you pay yourself. So, big crypto, nothing really to get excited about here. Violently flat. I thought it was interesting. I was wondering how we were going to do against this trend line in reload zones and that original sort of harmonic level, and they just ran it up there and then just bitch slapped her. Bang! What kind of pissed me off about this is I want to add more puts on Ethereum. And I even said publicly, I'm like, okay, we're coming into my levels, got to pay attention, give me a nice inside bar, and then they took it one leg higher. And I'm like, okay, give me a nice inside bar, I could still hit this, we're against nice neckline of maybe an inverted head and shoulders, looking for initial pullback into here, but if this thing really does dump, away we go, carve out a new M. And now they've gone and painted a goddamn railroad tracks. So absolute best scenario for me here. If they finish the day like this, and who knows how they're going to finish this. But if they finish the day like this, then one tick lower, beep, tomorrow morning, that's a sell signal for me. So that's where I'm sitting, and I might just go buy another put or two. So just be aware of that. And again, what I'm sort of seeing is violently flat, super volatile, just as we were at the bottom end of the range, came ripping back up. Now we're back up at the top of the range. Do we have to come now ripping back down? We'll see. Only time will tell. So, big, not really exciting. Maybe even a potential trap here. I hate when they put these bottoms in at these levels, right in the face of a big M. Maybe we'll do some more analysis later on. And really, I probably talked way too much here today. But have I hit 5 minutes yet? I don't know. So, try and play from a position of strength. Don't take no wooden nickels, as Mom used to always say. Remember what your number one job as a trader is to do. I don't think there's a huge hurry on something like the corn. Go slowly, but I'll tell you, one area of the market that still continues to outperform and shine are these fun little altcoins. They look so much fun right now. And, it makes playing capitalism a hell of a lot of fun when you wake up and see that kind of stuff first thing in the morning. So, okay, everybody, have yourselves a great day. All the best. And I better not hit the end record button too soon or I cut myself off. So, the only thing left for Brian to say at this point is bye for now.